He smiled at me when he said it, that politician's smile, polished and hollow, the kind that hides rot beneath varnish. "It's just business," the mayor told me, as if taking my grandmother's life apart was an item on a to-do list between campaign brunches. I didn't respond. I just watched the light of his office hit his face, golden and false. That was the moment I knew. I'd burn his empire from the inside out. Quietly, methodically. Grandma never liked politics. She liked engines, leather, and the smell of gasoline. The kind of woman who could rebuild a Harley faster than she could boil coffee. Her biker family, the Iron Widows, were her world. Tough women who raised each other from the ashes of bad men and bad years. Until the mayor came along. He called it community reform, said he was cleaning up the city. But he started with their clubhouse. Zoning violations, fake environmental concerns, whispered threats. The widows got scared. Fines piled up. Some sold their bikes to pay them. Others left town. And when Grandma refused to bend, the mayor found her soft spot, her friends. He promised them immunity if they turned on her. Lies, forged papers, a little staged evidence of drug running. Within a month, they'd abandoned her, believing she'd betrayed them. She never cried in front of me, but I heard her one night, muffled sobs through the garage door, the sound of wrenches hitting the floor. That was the night I decided, if the system worked for him, I'd become the system that worked against him. The mayor didn't know me, just another face in the crowd. But I knew him, his habits, his donors, his weaknesses. I started with his schedule. Every morning jog at 6, alone, no security. He liked to think he was one of the people. I wasn't interested in hurting him, not yet. I wanted him to see what it felt like to lose quietly. I took a job at City Hall. Intern position, nothing special, but paper trails start at the bottom. His assistant liked to gossip. I learned more over coffee runs than through files. He had a mistress, the head of his charitable foundation. I made friends with her first. Empathy, fake and smooth. People love confessing to a good listener. Within weeks, I had passwords, schedules, and digital keys to the foundation's accounts. Turns out, the mayor had been laundering campaign funds through his foundation, disguising them as community grants. A clever trick, except one of those grants was the very same money used to evict Grandma's biker club. I downloaded everything, emails, transfers, voice memos. But evidence alone wouldn't satisfy me. No, I wanted him to feel it unravel. I started small. Anonymous letters to journalists, copies of invoices, whispers of scandal. Then came the first public hit, a leaked memo showing misuse of city funds. He blamed his staff, called it a clerical error. But the seeds were planted. Doubt spreads faster than truth. Next, I sent a file to his wife, a collection of his private messages with the mistress. No note, just the truth, neatly packaged. She left him 3 days later, taking half his assets and the dog he loved more than his voters. He began to sweat, literally. At every press event, his hands shook. I watched from the back of the crowd, unseen. He had no idea the quiet intern filing budget reports was the ghost haunting his career. Still, I wasn't done. I used the mistress's credentials one last time to authorize a transfer. From the foundation's account to a motorcycle rehabilitation grant in Grandma's name. $500,000. All legal, all traceable to him. When the auditors came knocking, he finally realized he'd been cornered. But by then, it was too late. The confrontation came a month later. City Hall cafeteria. Public, harmless, or so he thought. He looked older, heavier under the guilt. "You," he said, recognizing me from somewhere his memory couldn't place. "Me," I answered, stirring my coffee. "How's the foundation?" He blinked, calculating. "You work for me, don't you?" "Worked," I corrected. "Not anymore. I prefer private ventures." The color drained from his face. He understood then. Not the details, just the inevitability. "You did this," he whispered. I smiled, small and controlled. "No, Mr. Mayor, you did. I just cleaned up after you." He didn't respond. He just sat there, staring at the coffee cooling in his hands, realizing he was finished. Within weeks, he resigned, citing personal reasons. The press tore him apart. The mistress turned witness. The feds opened an investigation. I didn't attend the hearings. I was too busy helping Grandma reopen the garage, now with government grant money, her name proudly stenciled above the door. These days, she runs workshops for young mechanics, women who remind her of herself before life hardened her edges. The Iron Widows came back, ashamed, repentant. She forgave them. That's her kind of strength. As for me, I stay in the background, watching, learning,